Everybody, welcome to Mystics MMOs. I'm your host, Mystic Raven. All right, so today I am inching towards that goal. I have a goal coming into Final Fantasy, and that is to try to get all of my jobs pretty much up to 70 prior to the release of Shadowbringer, and then I'm going to be coming out with videos, what I call configuration videos for each job, right? So that's my goal as a content creator, especially a new content creator to this game. There are respectable content creators that I do highly recommend. So take it with a grain of salt, or not really a grain of salt, but just take it for what it is. I'm just trying to, if I can help anybody, vet or new player, with my configurations and setups, then that's cool. If people don't like it, that's fine as well. I'm a type of person, I believe each player will have their own play style. And if they prefer something else, who am I to argue? But if anything that I offer in these configuration videos will help other players, I'm more than happy to lend at least my experience with, configuring, each class or each job in this case accordingly. So, anyways, with that being said, I did leave some dailies because reset doesn't happen for another hour and a half. I haven't done my level 50 roulette, which I will be doing that right now. It looks like I should be able to hit 66 pretty much with ease. Let me repair at least this gear. It was pretty quick. Alright. It's good being a healer and a tank in MMOs. Okay, I'm going to drink my apple juice once again. We'll sort this out. Two Dragoons is DPS. Not one, we got two Dragoons. I love sometimes what you don't know what kind of tank, you don't know what type of healer you're getting, you don't know what type of DPS combination you're getting. You really have no idea. I think that's why another reason I really enjoy pugging so much in games. Excuse me. Oh shit. Okay, I thought I could go up this way, but I guess I can't. What? Dude, seriously? No, that always sucks. Oh, oh no, it's a Moogle. No. Yeah. I don't know who that is. Not interested. Once again, I do deal damage, but stupid Moogle. How dare you? Moogles, people think Moogles are cute. They're evil, man, I'm telling you. They're fucking evil. Morning, Irish. Morning, Scott. I'm super pumped about getting another option for range physical DPS. Yeah, with Dancer. Plus, it looks so cool. Damn straight it does. Players are so butthurt. Right, I really liked your post too, Irish. Because I do find it awkward. I mean, like you said in the post, though, I mean, we haven't played the game as long as some of these people, which I guess maybe it's for those reasons that, you know, people are butthurt, I guess, about it. But I'm like, I don't see a problem with it. It's for the same reasons, you know, you got. I'm like, let me stick you in a couple games that, you know, I'm not naming names or anything, but all right. Like, I don't get it. Like, I guess, but I mean, you could be playing games with a lot more problems than just being like, oh, we didn't get it. I think I do okay. So you can damage as a healer. I'm not against damaging. I'm just not going to damage prior to me healing. It's never going to happen. Don't ask me to do it. Nice drawback. Keep them away from us. Mouse slip. Reapply the dots. Put the shield back on my tank. AoE heal just to top that off. Heal myself. Reapply the dots. Good shit. Good shit. To my understanding, the Dancer in the FF has always been a DPS for players to upset. Yeah, players have 3 options for healers. It was alright, you know. But I think it's because we're getting a new tank that like people anticipated it to be a healer, right? So, from my understanding, that was what everybody was really upset about. But I think you're right. I mean, to me, you know, I mean, they could still be putting a healer in. The thing about it is we get updates. We get classes, we get raids, we get all sorts of stuff in between each expansion. So could they introduce, you know, another healer after, like, patched in? Yeah, absolutely. And as you guys can see how I'm DPSing, I'll throw the dots, put up the heals, and then do the spammable in between. I just find that to be, and I notice my spammable isn't cast. I already know that my dots cast, but I don't want a direct, in any heal for me personally, I don't want a direct cast, right? Associated. I don't. Why? Because if something was to happen, if he gets a shield break or drops suddenly and I'm during that cast, it could be really bad. So for me personally, I want a instant cast or something that if I'm going to use maybe like a stone or something, I'd want something preemptive down to alleviate the possibility. That's why for me, I'm kind of a little leery as a healer. Like dots, I would rather throw a dot down. Like White Mage has dot damage that isn't going to affect its healing. I'm not saying that. Yep, in comparison to the DPS, I'm not dealing a significant amount. I mean, but every little bit helps. I get that, but still at the same time, I'm not risking it. I mean, in no way, no how, shape, or form. It's probably in a cutscene. This is going to be a lot of shield juggling for me as well. It's fine. Yeah, but missing one. Okay, now see, I'm going to put that shield right there. Get the hell away from that. Here we go. Oh shit. Yes. What's up? Woohoo! GG. Flawless victory. I'll give it up to one of the Dragoons, sure. Yes. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Maybe that's why players are hoping for. If they make enough noise and disapproval, the developers will patch a new healer into the game. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, I mean, I think they have it planned out anyways. Like, what I like about what the developers do in this game, they stagger the content, right? So they know what they're doing. Like, the way you get, like, free updated content, you know, I think it's kind of cool in that way. It's unique. So I really like it. For that reason alone, I'm like, oh my God, that is like the shit. So, because it takes every 2 years. They average an expansion every 2 years in this game. So what are they supposed to do for 2 years? You know, how are they supposed to, you know, keep content flowing in? Because you're already paying a monthly sub. So the way they look at it, we want them to get their money's worth. Because if one thing, we have to have time to do it. We have to have time to develop it, right? It makes sense. It's like we need time to develop the content. This is our itinerary. This is what we have planned. This is what we're going to release with the expansion. This is what we're going to release in the next patch. This is what we're going to release in 6 months with the new raid. This is so because you're paying for it. You're paying for continuous development. And you're getting those ones associated with the sub fee. So I think that's brilliant, actually. I feel like I'm getting my money's worth. The forums are full of players complaining about no male bunnies. They want male, feminine bunnies. Why does everything have to be political? Ah, yeah, okay. Can't we just play the damn game without pushing agenda? I mean, here's the thing. If they decide they let's say tomorrow they change their minds and they throw in male bunnies. Do I care? No. You know, I mean, do I understand that certain players want it? Yes. Should they get their way? Oh, there's a lot of things we don't get in this world. I mean, I get it. I get the frustration. I wanted spears in Elder Scrolls. I'm like, I want spears, man. I want like spears as a weapon. I didn't get it. Did I throw a fissy that I didn't get like one thing on my Christmas wish list? Every year I used to do a Christmas wish list, and ZOS would accommodate a lot of my wish list. Thank you, by the way, people at ZOS. Thank you for listening to me. If they didn't get one or two things in there that I really, really was hoping for, do I throw like a temper tantrum? No. I'm realistic to the facts. You know, like maybe they couldn't do it. Maybe there's more to. Maybe there's so much on their plate they can't do it at this moment. You know, there's a lot of things to take into consideration. That's why I said, like, I can deal with bugs, but I can't deal with performance. That to me is like, you know, the X out. Like, I'm out. Like, bugs can be attended to. But performance, if you're not improving performance, more than likely, you're never going to increase the performance till it's too little too late. So that's why I tipped my hat. And I was just like, I'm out. I'm done. And because everything else can be adjusted. And if they bring out male bunnies, cool for the players who wanted it. If they don't, it's whatever. You know, I get it. You know, I played games with gender lock. I play Black Desert. Black Desert is gender lock. My main is a mystic. I'm playing. It's my first female character ever. Let's repeat that. Ever. Do I wish they had, you know, they have the male counterpart, which is the striker. But do I wish Mystics could be a male? Yeah. Does it upset me? But do I, like, refuse to play the game because of I'm a female? No. No, not at all. Absolutely not. Yeah, I don't care either way. I don't care. Just calling the devs homophobic and misogynistic is too far. Yeah. I mean, it's whatever. I mean, like I said, I mean, my girls are very much into, you know, equality. We've taught them, you know, the importance of equality. Even if you don't, like, they're above and beyond my expectations. Because there's certain things I don't get. I'll be honest. I'm old. I'm 40-something years old. There's certain things I don't get. But it's like, it doesn't faze me. It's not a part of my life. It's not like I you know, but everybody wants to make it about something, and I get it. I understand their arguments. I understand their position. But it's like, don't go about it the wrong way. Voice your opinion and see what can happen, you know? I mean, don't assume it's because of this that's why it's not occurring. You know, don't get to that point, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, we know that there's this race and we know that they're being born. So in order to do such, they either have to be asexual, right? Or there has to be an opposite sex to fertilize, you know, the females. So there has to be males somewhere, unless they're asexual. So it's like, hey man, I don't know. I'm just, you know, throwing darts. I mean, whatever. So I mean, I get it, but don't be so negative. Just try to look at it in a positive reflection, voice your opinion, and try to get some, you know, maybe some, you know, resolution, either negative or positive. I would rather deal with a negative response than no response, right? At least if that way, there's closure. I always tell people, I'd rather hear something negative from somebody's mouth than nothing, because without any word being said, there's no closure to the topic. But hey, what do I know? I'm a disgruntled, raging, toxic ESO player. So, or so I've been told. You're toxic, Mystic. Oh my god, you're so toxic. It's like, man, you have no idea what the word toxic means. I'm passionate, that's for damn sure. I care too much. Too much. It was my crime. Caring for the world. Oh, I like this dude's look. I love that look. Oh my god, I love it. I actually enjoy this dude's look. I love that face paint, the color of his fur and his skin, the glasses, the outfit. Dude, I love this character, man. The rose. Dude, that is badass. Like I said, I just hope the community can stay positive. I have never met such a... Man, I got this one again. Just kick that thing. That thing's like, fuck you, dude. I'm kicking you back. We kicking its ass. Sweet! I'm on fire. Can't nobody take my Oh, shit. Please tell me I did not just DC. Bastards. See, I know when shit's wrong with my SP, it does that weird interruption. Oh, shit. Get me the hell out of that. There's nothing I can do with all this fire around it. You gotta move it, dude, or take it. Sucks to be a melee right now. By the way, grats on the 70, Cal. Grats on that, brother. Now you're right. You can samurai it up. Samurai it up. Whoa. But that should be more like the ninja. Oh shit. I hate that. I don't know if I can get over here to... It's not easy being melee. It's not. Pass. Pass. Oh shit. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh my, I thinky, I likey. I got plans for that mask if I get it. On a better note, saw work to game, give you a shout out on the stream last night. Thanks, man. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, we were actually talking quite a bit, Work and I. I'm just getting into it, and he's got the expertise. He's been covering this a lot longer. You know, if I can get a couple of his opinions, just because he understands a lot more of the lore and, you know, how everything's been applied up to this point, I think it's great because as a player, I want more info. I want, like, okay, is this good? Is this, you know, how's this going to, you know, just getting small information, like, because there's certain things I'm never going to know. I just don't know. So it's like, I really like, you know, taking a person like him and being like, okay, so I missed quite a bit. And, like, from a combat position, I always feel okay. Like, I never have, like, the feeling that, from a combat game, that I'm missing something, you know? But when it comes to something else, I'm like, shit. I don't know any of this stuff. So yeah, I honestly think that's what's really cool with Brian and Chris. You know, they're really good content creators. First, I love their positivity. I love what they do for their community. I really, you know, like I would recommend them to vets and new players all alike, especially coming into this game. I feel like they're passionate about it. You know what I'm saying? They really are. And like Brian was being so really good about how, you know, we shouldn't, you know, we should give them time to, you know, digest everything, and everything he was talking about just made sense, right? So when you even hear Brian talk, he's just such a really good content creator, and you know, I'm just happy that Square Enix has somebody like those guys over here. You know, personally for me, I'm the type of person that, you know, there's good and bad with me. You know, I don't try to, but it's not like I think that they're trying to please people. They're just being objective, you know, and that's a good thing. Like for me personally, I'm just like, hey man, this is what I hate. This is what I don't like. I don't care if people agree with me or not. That you're entitled to that, but don't come attack me. You know what I'm saying? People are like, you're defensive, and I'm like, well, here's the way I look at it. I don't expect people to agree with me, but don't force your opinions on me either, is how I look at it. Pass on that. God dang it, did I get to pass on that? No, pass. Wait for the turn. Shit. Okay, big AoEs here. Don't move. You know what? Now. Bingo. Finish it. Yes! Sorry. Good job. Everybody did such a good job. Good shit. Hold on. No, not my style. It's not my style. No, spank you. Anyway, I got a ton of work to do. I'll be watching, though. Have a good stream, brother. Thank you. I don't get what I want. If I don't get what I want, I'll quit. It's nuts. Give them time. They've shown they've listened to their players. Right. Absolutely. I think that's what bugs me, you know. Right. Give them time. Just give them some time, man. I mean, here's the thing. I mean, I get people's, like, expectations get really, like, pumped up. Like, oh, my God, you know. But at the same time, it's like, you know, just digest it for a couple minutes, man. Let's just digest it. You know, let's take it for what it is. And, you know, let's see where it goes. Let's see how things, you know, unfold. I mean, like I said, I played games that have gender lock. I have games that I played that classes are gender specific, and I don't see a problem. I mean, I get it. I get the whole, you know, equality thing, and, you know, people. I'm not even in the whole political thing with none of that, and just like I get it, but just you know, I don't have a problem with that. It's always performance for me. It's not even bugs. It's just performance, man. I played games that's just different, you know? And it doesn't bother me. I played games where, you know, the plot has been, you know, based on things that are... I think I played a game that literally, you know, there were elements that I completely was not prepared for. And I was like, okay, that was interesting. That was different. And it was from a writer's perspective. It wasn't from the creator's perspective. It was from the person writing the story behind the game. But you respected it because that's their creative, you know, direction. So what's the deal? Why has it got to be political? Everybody, you know, it's not like we're promoting like hate games. And that's the thing. Like, if there's a hate game, I think that should be addressed. If there's actual deliberate, you know, indication of, you know, homophobic or this or hating on anything in life, gender, race, anything. If that is, you know, a blatant, then that's one thing. But just because it's like debatable lore topics, it's like, okay, let's take a step back. Everybody breathe. And, you know. Take a step back. Relax. You're talking to a person who goes off about a lot of things. And I do. But, jeez. I mean, this is coming from me. Wow. Oh, nice. So, that whole saying, I'm stuck with that saying from the trailer. And I really like that Brian was playing things and he was giving his, you know, perspective and everything. I like that. I like when we can all talk about stuff, you know, and I said hashtag 2000, hashtag throw wide the gates 2019. And I really like that. I love also the voice keeps going off in my head. If history must be unwritten, let it be unwritten. And it's like, and we look at the calamity and the great calamity, and it's where people forgot. And it was like history was lost maybe once, and is in this first? Is it going to happen again? Is this something that, you know, has to occur with each calamity? Because I can see these things being woven into the plot. Especially, this is the first time we're actually really leaving, you know, the source. You know, we've seen, you know, the other warriors of darkness come to our realm because they were trying to save theirs. They came from the first, remember? And they told us this story. So they already said, our world is dying because we did everything we were supposed to, and now the light is consuming everything, and there's nothing we can do. Right? Remember that? And now we're going to the first. We're going there. And Shadowbringer title is what we're doing. We're bringing the shadow back. We're resetting the balance. And to me, that's what's amazing. Like, the title fits the plot. You know, and then if you take a look, the hand tells all. I'll give you a hint, man. The hand tells all. Watch the trailer, man. Look at the hand. They're very, look at them. Interesting, man. Telling you, interesting shit. Really good. Oh, this will be interesting as a melee DPS. Oh, I'll tell you. This one's gonna hurt. Love it. Every day. Every flipping day, man. Every day. I'm loving this game. Oh, I don't have to move yet. Now I do. Go in. Yep. Nice. All right. Oh shit. Damn it. Good shit. Hold on. Just. Oh shit. Oh shit. No. And no. Damn it. No, don't do this now. That almost had me like, okay, should I go back in now or not? Oh shit, come on, man. Oh my god, I just got bladed, ran over, and cannoned. All at the same time. Thank you, healer. God, I just got like smoked. And if you don't ever think, if you never think, it can happen. Holy spliff. It was so fast too. Like, I'm like, okay, I try to get right in that position. Next thing you know, because we skipped the one and then the other came up. And I was like, okay, well, if I come here, it should be, well, it wasn't. I didn't see the blade. I gotta read this after it. There's nowhere for me to go. I'm screwed. This one's gonna be a bitch. Just because of the ice. I could see this one being a pain in my ass. Every day. Oh boy. Oh shit. Woof. Wait for the turn. Now. Go in. Stay on the side. The biggest thing about this is watching where everything's going to be laid at. You see that right there, how the ice is? I definitely want to be on the opposite side. Shit! I'm frosted. Flakes. Okay. It's gonna be the little ads that come up. Kill it. Stay away from the... Triple finisher on the shit with the end of the limit. Oh! Oh, that's how you push your limit. Oh! Nice. GG. That's how you push your limits, boys and girls. I got him with the finisher, the Aga, and the break. Boom, 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 and boom. Triple hit knockout. So good, man. So good. It was so good. I think that's what bugs me the most about the current mindset of the forum posters. It's not like they won't change things. They have before. It's fine to express opinion, but saying, if I don't get what I want, yeah, we've already discussed this. Last thing I'll say, race is basically only cosmetic in Final Fantasy, right? It's not affecting gameplay at all. Yeah, right. One of the best responses I saw was, if I can't be a bunny boy, the 4,000 hours I put into this game is meaningless. Meaningless. I genuinely laughed so hard. Yeah, I mean, it's... You know, I don't know, man. It's moments like that, like, I literally wonder, like, why... Like I said, I think everybody should be entitled to certain opinions. Everybody's entitled to an opinion. Everybody should have be able to, you know, speak their mind, to raise concerns, and to try to, you know, cooperate as much as possible. But games, I don't believe bringing political agenda or political position in a game is a good thing, because I've seen multiple game and companies take different directions to, you know, convey the plot or to convey the unique elements behind a class, a race, because it's unique, right? We're all unique, right? You know, I'm heterosexual. Does that mean I don't get an opinion because, you know, I have a wife and that? Does that mean, like, my opinions don't matter? Like, I respect, you know, everybody. Everybody. But I just don't want to bring it in. Like, it's pointless. Why for me positioning myself, why putting myself, my opinion in, if my opinion is going to offend somebody, right? That's, you know, I understand. But at the same time, I don't want people to absolutely think I don't see other people's positions or I don't see other people's opinions. It's just like, I see it, I understand it. Isn't that the most important thing? Is that I recognize it and I accept, even though I might not be that way, and or I agree with it absolutely. I accept it as a reality. And because of that, I have no hate towards anybody who has that position in their life. That's what's important to me. Like, just respecting somebody's, religion, sexual preference, I might not live that way, but I respect the fact that you get to and you have your rights. But in a game, it's a game, it's a game. And a lot of people can just justify and say, oh, well, it trickles over into our, okay, yeah, but so does everything else. Everything has that effect. A Twinkie can have that effect. A freaking Twinkie. Right? We can literally sit and debate the existence of the Twinkie forever. And how it diversely affects our sociology as a society is the presence of the Twinkie. Right? You quit DCUO. I'm not playing DCUO currently, No Limit, because I love the game. I love DC. It's my go-to game. I'm a little upset with Daybreak since the Christmas because they laid off people like a week and a half before Christmas. I'm like, why didn't you wait till after? Like, why didn't they wait? Why didn't Daybreak Games wait till after? So I'm a little upset with it. I'm not upset with the devs or the game. I love the game. I love the devs over there. By the way, Maps and all you guys keep doing your thing. You guys are doing really good for that game. Hopefully they get a little love and, get a little bit more help over there so they can add a little bit more content. But I'm a little upset with the corporate company. I understand that they were going to have to lay people off. Don't get me wrong. I'm not hating them for having to make a hard decision. But timing was less than desirable. Imagine you being home for the holidays and knowing that after Christmas you have to look for work because you just got canned. Imagine that morning opening up presents, or something. What a shit way to friggin'... I have problems with that shit. Right. Character driven is fine, but all I'm saying is I like to play games and escape political shit you see every day. I want to have fun, not be woke. It's fine, and I respect their opinions, but there's a place, and gaming isn't that place. Right. It's just like, but let's hypothetically say, I've played games that, are, kind of questionable. I mean, I didn't know how they play out, but, they're present. Does it bother me at the end of a game to say, oh my God, this person was this? I am so raising hell because the main character was bisexual and I didn't know they were bisexual and this has totally offended me. No, like what the fuck? Like why? I mean, why do people hate that? Like, you got people on both sides of the fence, like, hating each other on some shit. It's just like, what? Why? I don't feel like people are forcing me to believe the way I believe or be the way I am. I don't feel like that. So why should I force try to convert people? Like, I feel like the political agenda is trying to have, like, It bleeds into everything, in entertainment, media, which education is important. So educating people and using the social media in a prominent way to have diversity and acceptance is important. I agree with that, and we're growing tremendously as a society because of that. We're getting things out. So I do believe that, if done in the right atmosphere, in a productive manner, it's good. But in the same essence, you don't want to become that in which you've fought against. Like, my cousin is gay, been gay his whole life. And that's my family. And, it doesn't bother me. It's just, It just doesn't bother me. It doesn't affect me. It's like, why? But, you see people, the struggle, right? And there becomes this almost callous effect because you've had to deal with so much. Like, I get hated on for being, a person to push, make evidence like diminishing returns or something, and people hate on me, right? And then when they troll me, I lash out defending myself, right? But I've become the same element as the trolls. I have to go to their level to push my position, and that makes me, in effect, this like toxic in their eyes, because they don't see it from my position. They only see it from their position, right? They're only looking at it from their side, but they don't look at it from my side. But I've had to go places in which I didn't want to have to raise the voice, right? And I feel like that's the same element. That's the same thing. Like, people feel like they have to go to dark places to raise awareness, right? And it's like, but is there a time in which there's, that we can all agree that human rights should be equal across for everybody? There's a human rights. Like, when's it okay to be, a hetero white male in society? Because as a hetero white male, I feel like everybody hates on me. Like, every time I'm opening the media, it's like, oh, there's this about white males, or this about heterosexuals, or this about, and I'm like, so just because I'm white and I'm straight, what? People hate me because of it? Are you now assuming that I'm this because I'm white and I'm heterosexual? Is that it? Like, so you're basically assuming I hate you because I'm hetero and white. Is that right? I mean, I don't know. It bugs me because there's no actual conversation. Right. It's threats and demands and name calling, civil discourse. It's all but dead. Right. But, it's what I'm saying. Like, I avoid all that shit, to be honest with you. Like, when somebody says something and it's like, oh, you want to understand you're white. And I'm like, obviously, I wouldn't understand your position, even though you just made it obvious that I was white. Nothing racist there. And they're like, what? And I'm like, what'd you just say? You had to make it known to me that I'm white. And if you had to do that, what's that telling you? You overlooked the obvious. You already overlooked the obvious. But it's okay. But I tell people, hey, it's okay, I get it. You have to point the finger at somewhere. You have to point the finger somewhere. I might as well be your rag doll. I get it. Be your punching bag. Your excuse, your scapegoat. I get it. Everybody has to put a blame to something. Right? I get it. I do. But does it make it so righteous? I have to wonder these things. But I wish everybody the best. I think everybody has the right to live happy. They have the constitutional right, the human right to pursue happiness. I believe that wholeheartedly. I went to the forum in the first place to see how hyped the other players were over the expansion. Boy, what a supreme surprise. I know. So, it's just, what can you do? I mean, honestly, it's just like, I need to find the hammerhead sharks. God dang it. Because I'm ready for that. What? Nice. Oh, I forgot to assign her a new one. I'll get it. Sign adventure. Oh, got every year. I need to get that. I need to get that. And I need a lot of shit. Ooh, cotton balls. Could do that. So much I have to do. What can you do? Stay the hell away from the forums, dude. Listen, literally, man, I stay away from majority of everybody. Because I feel like everybody's on a hate trip. Like, that's how my life goes. You know what I tell my girls? Unless it involves you, just avoid it. I'm like, just avoid it. They're like, really, Dad? I'm like, yeah. Trust you and me, it's not worth it. I could lie to you, but what would be the point of doing that? What would be the point? What would you do for a Klondike bar? You know, I mean, come on, man. Just stay away. Stay away. Avoid it. People are going to, like, always find a way to make it turn it back on you. I'm like, look at Daddy. I told my one daughter, I'm like, look at me. She's like, does it bother you that people hate you so much? I'm like, no, quite the opposite. And she was like, well, how do you figure? And I'm like, well, see, Daddy puts on a position to be hated. And some people see through that mask, which they're pretty intelligent, says something about our society as a whole. And I'm like, but at the same time, I get my agenda done. And there has to be, a price to pay, right? I'm like, you always have to pay a price, always. If you're trying to achieve something, you have to understand the biggest voices have to sacrifice the most, right? To get what they want accomplished or to get through to the people. And a lot of people do not like that idea. Oh, hell no. People do not like that idea. What? So flipping ever. But at the end of the day, you have to ask yourself, what is it worth it? Is it worth it? For me, I knew. And of course, I fed into it even more. And was it worth it? Absolutely. 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 Was it worth getting, trolled and harassed and all this? Absolutely. Absolutely. You can't play nice all the time. You can't. You can't always be a nice guy. You can't always be the person like, I'm on the fence. I'm right here. No, you have to sometimes you have to make a decision. You have to make hard decisions. Sometimes sticking up for what, standing up for what you, sticking up for what you stand for, or taking a position for what you stand for is not come easy. That's why I respect a lot of political activists, because it's hard. It's hard. Sometimes I have to take a look at the political activist and say, is there purpose here with this individual? Are they trying to speak for, are they a voice for the cause? Or are they just a voice for personal, agenda? So that's where you have to, draw this conclusion, right? About that individual. Are they pushing their own agenda, or are they a voice for the cause? If they're a voice for the cause, right? They are sacrificing so much. They are putting themselves out there with very little reward other than trying to accomplish something that other people would not be willing to pay for otherwise. Because persecution is the hardest thing that you have to pay. To be persecuted and to become a martyr. To become a martyr for the cause is something, you know? It's just, for me, it was just like, I knew it. I was just like, and somebody like, how can you compare, like, you can just hear people. Because you have to understand what's at stake at all times. You always have to understand that. You always have to understand that somewhere between the line, if you're against the majority, then you're going to get persecuted. No matter what the position, what the topic, it doesn't matter. That's why I said death to the meta, right? People hated me, and they still do. To this day, I'll be long gone, and when these kids are at my age, they will remember my voice saying death to the meta. And some of these players will finally get it long when they're in 15, 20 years from now. They will get it. It will sink in. You know, with age comes wisdom. Well, sometimes. But, you know, there's just the positioning, man. You know, you have to sometimes make sacrifices. You have to, you know, ask yourself, am I willing to do what it's going to take to do that, to get this recognized? And I honestly hope for a lot of people that answer is yes. All right? I honestly hope for a majority of the people that they're doing it, they're being a voice for the cause and not for their own personal agenda. Right? Because, you know, people can be selfish. People can easily become the victim in every scenario. It's not my fault. Because you don't understand. Because everybody can be a victim. Everybody. It's like, you know, I could sit here and play victim all day long. What's the point? You know? The most important thing, though, is to actually try to be somewhat empathetic. You know, I mean, if you can't be sympathetic, at least try to be empathetic as much as possible. You know, that's a quality sometimes I lack. You know, I'll be honest. You know, a lot of people are like, you know, can you sympathize? And I'm like, you know, the thing about it is I look at everything as, you know, two-sided. You know, I see it from an open source of saying, yes, I see your point. I'm empathetic to understanding that. I'm also aware that, you know, certain things have led up to this, you know. And these are things that have to occur. You know, there's cause and effect. There's just cause and effect. You know, sometimes we can't control the effects because we never really sought the cause to begin with. You mean, how can you control the outcome, right, of anything if you're not aware of the cause? Sometimes you have to find the cause to deal with the effect. And sometimes by the time you realize what caused these problems, the effects already occurred. Right? You can't escape it. You can't. You know? And it's kind of sad. It is sad that a lot of people are taking a political positioning in gaming and, you know, whatever. You know, I don't know, man. You know, I respect everybody, is what I'm trying to say. At the end of the day, I respect everybody's position. I'm, you know, I hope that everybody gets heard, their voices are out there. But if the devs decide not to make male bunnies, really, you're going to cry and whine and throw a temper tantrum? And then you're going to actually blame political agenda for the motivation or the lack of motivation to implement? Like, nobody's saying anything about the female cats. Like, oh, why don't I throw a temper tantrum and say, okay, well, if they get their male bunnies, I want my female cat. I want my female lion. If they get their male bunnies, why can't I have my female lion? It's like, come on, man. Seriously? They're compromising. They actually compromised. I feel like there was a compromise. Yes, I understand. It doesn't have long ears. I mean, come on, man. I get it. I get it. I get it. Crazy, man. It's all crazy. I gotta break some of these fish down. Almost level 40 with this dude. 3 more levels and I'll be 40. Hell yeah. Got a lot of stuff to do. Oh, shit. That's another thing I forgot to go do. Leveled up. Forgot to go talk to my trainer. Like, I'll be honest with you guys. Like say if I'm interviewing people, I'm not going to ask any question that has nothing to do with the position. I'm not going to ask about their personal life, their political, anything, nothing. The only thing I'm going to ask is like, do you have previous experience? Do you have any education? If you don't have any education, you know, what about this job, you know, has drawn you to it? What do you feel like you could, you know, offer the team? Things like that. Like, seriously, like, what am I going to ask? Like, you know, do you prefer to wear black on Wednesdays? Yes. Well, that's definitely out of the question. You know, I mean, come on. Do you wear pink on Saturdays? No. Well, see, we don't get along. You know, I can't hire you. I mean, come on. I mean, imagine there's people out there to do that. I'm not saying there isn't. But it just, that's what it's like for me. It's like, those type of topics are like, what the fuck? You know? I'm like, what's that? What is that? You know what? Frig it. I'll cheat it. I'll travel it. Never understood people, man. I just don't. I don't get people. majority of the time. I'm just like, what the hell ever. I used to, every so often I'd go to a different area and I'd be totally surprised by everybody. I'm like, I don't know. Actually I think I have to go down here. Okay. All right, here we go. Morning and such. Hello. All right. My world for an AoE. Sure, agreed. I hate this one. I really hate this one. I really hate this one. Okay. Go, go, go. Right here. Over here. Oh, I hate this one. Such a pain in the booty. The booty. The booty. Dude, can you please push these dudes back? No, they gotta come over here. Dumb fucker, just stay on. Sorry, excuse my French. Just stay on it. No. Oh my god. Oh my god, there we go. I don't know how it opened. Oh, it's because a door per trigger. I'm gonna kill it if that thing doesn't. It's not on there. It's not on there. You don't even need to go in this room, man. I'd like to see you do a video on how to gear up after hitting 70. Yeah, I'm going to call them configurations. And ideally what I want to do is like set, you know, where you're going to get your gear. Like basically regardless of your gears, where you're at in your gear progression, how you can actually set up with the material, how it's going to differ, the important stats that apply, and then macro configuration and adjustments. So basically it's going to kind of give players a good understanding, like you can go this direction or that direction. You can set up macros, like basically give them their options and how to make those adjustments based on their preference. 1 second. Sorry, my daughter. Leveled up. Pass. I don't think so there, bud. Dude, you better get that on there a little bit more. There you go. Over a little bit, right there, right there. I like to see you do a video on how to gear up after hitting 70 for reasons. Right. Like I said, I'm going to do configuration builds. Or configuration videos. They won't be like builds like Elder Scrolls, but at least they'll kind of give people what I'm using, why am I setting it up that way, what's their options, things like that. No, 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 put him on. Oh, shit. Ugh. Good shit, tank. I think the tank did really good. Okay, well, I just got a new spear. Or new lance. This. Do some crafting vids? Okay, definitely. I really like what ESO was trying to do with gear, but oh god, how I don't miss all the you got carried by X set bull crap. Really don't miss all the excuses players make for taking that L, right? This. Really glad ESO doesn't have builds per SE. Yeah. I did put out some pretty cancerous stuff though. Hey man, they let me do it. But how many times did they nerf my shit? Like, every time I come out with some shit, I'd turn around and I'd be like, oh, what's up? And the next thing you know, they just nerf it. Like, oh, thank you for pointing this out with this nasty build, Mystic. Guess what we're going to do today? We're nerfing it. Yay, thank you. Thank you so much. But hey, whatever. And then I get called cancerous player. I've heard it all. I've heard it all. Whatever. Don't miss it, really. I don't. It was just terrible. But yeah, crafting, I definitely could do crafting. I think that'll be a good idea too. Getting like tutorials or little things. This game's a little older, so I kind of feel like, am I out of place, like trying to put out certain content that may already be present, like, you know, things like that. What I'm hoping to do, but yeah, I agree, like putting out some crafting and some stuff and how to upgrade and or how to get here and go there. Though I do feel like Brian touches really good on some of this. Like Brian really had, like, you know, a couple of vids that touched on this. So I don't want to do something that people has already done. That's one thing I was trying to avoid in Elder Scrolls. I always try to avoid content that other players do. Right? I try to keep some unique element to my content. What I'm trying to you know, offer the game in that capacity. But I think crafting would be good, like touching up on the crafting for sure. Getting you know, class configurations. I'm going to call them basically job configurations, not class. Job configurations is what they're going to be called. And literally, the whole idea behind the job configurations is just giving, you know, the base principle of what the job does in that role. Its strengths, its weaknesses, how you can apply different material to the linear progression to give kind of a customization, what the stats, what important stats you need to be aware of, and how you can set up your macro configuration to either help your rotation or, you know, if you want to come off of a GCD. I understood. I'm a level 56 crafting and stuck, need a few pointers. No, some of the content is old and does a poor job as they are cracking jokes instead of providing info. Thank you. Okay, so heads up. Yep, I will be on that then. So next week, I actually am working on my crafting. So I'll actually, yeah, I'll get on and I'll provide some info, man, for sure. We'll start off with the basics too, like, you know, where to get, how to look at logs. We'll cover all of it all the way up through. Things that will help progress crafting, the easier routes to take, because I've noticed that one of the biggest things there is you get a bonus XP for the first time crafting an item. But sometimes the materials used to craft the item isn't worth it in the capacity of synthesizing. I looked for FF stuff, and for old this game is, there's not a lot out there. There's only a handful of people who do this content, despite how large the player base is. Think you'll be fine. Okay, cool. So, yeah, we'll go over it. Especially with the changes. They're going to be changing crafting is going to be way more intricate. You know, life events, the quality of life is going to be changing towards the end game with Shadowbringers, which I'm super pumped for. I like viable crafting in MMOs. If it doesn't, like WoW never had viable crafting. Oh shit, Black Desert Online has good crafting system, but piss poor quality compared to drop sets. But you still need to do it. It's like, oh, this crafting is like good. At the same time, it's almost pointless, but you still have to have it. It's like, it's kind of like a bad migraine after eating ice cream. Black Desert crafting. So, you know, it's interesting, man. So I'm really looking forward to addressing a lot of these things. I will be hopefully providing some of this. And, like I said, there's so much. Do gathering first. It will save you in the long run. Right, right. And that's what I was covering yesterday, too, because I was like, I feel that... By the way, how you liking this game, Mark? I have to get your info real quick. I have to get your input. How are you liking this game? Because you're an MMOer. You've played MMOs. I got to pick your brain. I've already picked Irish's, I don't know, like a couple times. How are you liking this game? Your thoughts coming in. I would love to get your opinion. Can't wait to get like these dudes. These are gonna be badass. You love it? I really enjoy it. Like it has the familiarity that we know from other MMOs, but the performance is just good. The eye candy is like the MSQ to me is a little daunting. Like I liked how Brian said it. It's like you're playing a single player game within an MMO environment. Because it does feel like that, right? It feels like you have this single player game within the MMO, right? So you have your MSQ, which is solo, a lot of solo elements. You're not dependent on too many outsiders until you open the content. Now you have your MMO element applied. You have like zoned areas that you bump into people, individualized node system where it's not so competitive. You have your hunts that can be group, company based. There are, like, I do feel like I wish there was mention yesterday, like free company. Like, I would like them to go a little further with the free company. I'd like to see a little bit more implementation towards expanding player housing. They didn't really touch up on this. Like somebody said, they're not planning on expanding player housing into the new area. I don't know if this is true. There hasn't been any really confirmation, I don't think. But I don't know. I mean, so I would like to see them expand on this. But, regardless, I feel everything is just so good. There's incentive in PvE. PvP is where I feel it needs the work. Like, I'd give it a 9.5 in PvE capacity because of all the quality that's been put into the title. It really does shine. It is very well polished, if not one of the most polished products currently. PvP is a struggle point. Like, PvP needs a considerable amount of work. It needs a considerable amount of time and investment to get the PvP where it needs to be. You can tell that they're trying to, get there. All the foundation elements are placed. It's just, they're not seeing, they're not getting that. They're still from a PvE perspective. And I think they're putting too many PvE people behind that desk that don't belong in that desk. And it's like you cannot, and once again I re-stress this over and over and over again. You do not take a PvE developer and put them behind PvP. That's not going to help you. They may be the most talented person in the industry, but if they have no experience to the PvP fundamentals and what needs to happen to make PvP engaging and desirable, then you're fucked. You're S-O-fucking-L. You don't do that. You keep the PvP, the people who are passionate, who understand the PvP, especially from the development standpoint, in PvP. That's what you do. Okay, we all have strengths and weaknesses. as people. Yeah, the PvE is amazing. I agree. Like I said about macros, a lot of it's at least a year old. A lot of info about FF is way outdated for as vibrant as the population is, right? My biggest concern is the long story slog. I'm working to eat away at it, almost level 56 now on Dragoon. Yeah, it's a little daunting, but it's so satisfying when you get to those points. Like, I don't like the fetch questing. The fetch questing is something I feel like they could do to shorten up, you know, the monotony of the MSQ. But unfortunately, somebody said, you know, we got to go ahead and draw it out, so we'll put fetch quests. Like, the MSQ is good. Like, I love the MSQ. I don't like the monotony within the MSQ. Okay, so I will say that. I wish it was more open world group use, but it's great so far overall. Right. I like the performance. I feel the performance is good. Environmental conditions, really spectacular. Visual display, like, I feel like they could have utilized a little bit more visual graphics in the beginning of the game. Like, I feel a lot of your eye candy is so dominant towards your end game that when people try the free version, they really don't get a justification of what they're really going to, you know, encounter in towards their end game. They really have no clue. It's like you're almost selling the MSQ up front and not selling the game in its entirety from a visual perspective. Because the cutscenes are amazing. They're probably the best in the industry. The CGI is probably the best in the industry, even from a movie's perspective. The guy who runs, is in charge of DreamWorks, actually is from my area, which I'll give a shout out, by the way. What's up, dude? He's older than I am, but he's from near where I live. So, and they do a great job over there for CGI. But Square Enix, I'll say it again, man. Square Enix is the top end for video in CGI, in my opinion. I mean, just completely phenomenal. Like, I used to just I would buy a Square Enix game just for the CGI cutscenes. They were so above their time, it was ridiculous. And it just goes to show how much passion's put in behind the CGI. And then later on in the combat, you see these visuals, this eye candy that's unbelievable. And it doesn't affect the performance of the product. The problem of it is, in the beginning, you don't get that. You get the CGI, you get the cutscenes, but you don't get it in a relative aspect to the combat. And it's like, man, I wish you guys could see what you're about to deal with. Because, whoa. Some of the dungeons, I love the environmental aspects of the dungeons. Like, everything's cohesive. But then the combat is just so different later. I mean, it speeds up. You got these points that you're coming off the GCD into your clip. It's really, 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 really just to the point and direct. So we'll see. Anyways, man, I'm going to cut the stream. I want to thank you guys for stopping in. Thank you, Irish. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Scott. Thanks, everybody. I hope I didn't get too political in this debate, but it's interesting. It's a good conversation. By the way, if you guys want to go check him out, Brian's got a stream starting up right now. I would make that recommendation to go check out Work to Game and his stream. And once again, I want to thank all of you for watching. Once again, I'm Mr. Craven. This is Mystics MMOs. And as always, thank you. Have a nice day.